10 minutes and 38 seconds in episode 8 of Tokyo Ghoul. I think I know what's about to happen. I can pretty much gauge out the possible scenario that will happen in the next few minutes. Okay, so if some people don't know, the Doves are already making their move because somebody tipped them off. The novel artist Tatsuki Sen or something, forgot her name. I don't really care about her, honestly. I think the owl. There's two owls, the dad and the son. Right. So the dad is Yoshimura, the son, the one-eyed owl. That's the one that's smaller. That's the one that's a little bit more weaker, I suppose. So there's two owls. Okay, so I think I at least got one right. Yoshimura is indeed the owl, but he's the older owl. And for some reason, they added in Kaneki Ken in that scene. You know, the one where he was sitting on the building. Kuzen, or the owl, was sitting on the building. And then they added in Kaneki there. And then now he's pretty much solidified into the scene in the snow building. Now, that could mean a lot of things. I don't know why though. Why they would put Kaneki in there when he was literally just low key a plant, bro. They injected ghoul organs into him. But the reason why I wanted to make this video 10 minutes and 38 seconds in, because depending on what happens in the next few minutes, will either make it or break it for me for this episode. It's episode 8, and it's way too late now. It really is way too late. I think I should have been properly invested by the time it's like episode 2, gang, or even episode 1. But I just haven't been. You know, I think what season 1 has done was pretty good. Right, even though there was like areas where I'm not really, I didn't really connect that much. I could connect at least emotionally with Kaneki. Right, I think episode 1 and episode 2 were by far one of the most impactful episodes to me. There were 3 episodes to me that stood out in season 1. Episode 1, episode 2, and then episode 3. Those, not episode 3, my bad. Episode 12. Those 3 episodes stood out to me far more than any other episode in season 1. And I can guarantee you that these 3 episodes, episode 1, 2, and 12, are by far way more better than the past few episodes I've seen in season 8. Season 8, Brody, my brain is not working because I literally just woke up from sleeping, had to do some shit first, so I'm a little bit out of it. It's the next day, pretty much what I'm saying. I just wanted to finish. Tokyo. I was like, I have a few more episodes. Let's just get through this, right? And that's a bad thing. I will tell you, it is a bad thing when I start to think like, oh, I gotta finish. I gotta finish an anime. It starts to feel more like work rather than genuine passion for the show or genuine enjoyment and indulgement into the show, which I think it definitely is a problem. Season 1 was a half pretty much, but I enjoyed season 1, and as I've said, season 1, episode 1, 2, and 12. If you want some clarification on why those few episodes, season 1, episode 1, the end scene for that episode where Kaneki was breaking down while the opening for Tokyo Ghoul was playing, I love that scene. Episode 2 was when Kaneki was in like hopelessness, absolute hopelessness, and then Yoshimura pops up, opens up the window, and shows him, how things could be hopeful, how things could be brighter. You don't have to go do things alone, or experience things alone. And then episode 12. It was not necessarily I liked episode 12 because of how do I say this? Emotionally impactful. It wasn't necessarily emotionally impactful. It was the effect that it had on me mentally. Right? The way I saw that episode, it was a complete shift from the past few episodes because this one just felt way more heavier. Okay, not because of like, oh, the torture scene. It's like the torture scene and everything happening around them wasn't the one clouding my judgment on that episode. The one that's absolutely making my judgment through that episode was Rize and Kaneki, and ultimately Kaneki's decision. That was it. Anything else that was happening outside there, it I didn't let it cloud my judgment about that scene. And when that scene happened, I was like, when he decided he was gonna be a ghoul, I think that was the moment I started to become emotionally detached from the show without even noticing it. And I don't even know why my light is flickering. It's just my camera, I guess. But at that moment, I was like, well, I'm at this point where I'm like, I'm getting into season two. I was thinking like if I should pick up another anime, and I'll pick up season two later on when I've detached myself from the show for a little bit, and then I could jump back in when I'm a little bit more energized. No, I was like, I wanted to know what happens next. I want to know what happens to Kaneki, bro, cause cause whatever happens, this is a new him, and I want to see this new version of him. And for a bit, I was like, okay, this is it, bro. He joins Aogiri, Anteku is left alone, and all that. But throughout this whole season, episode 8, bro, I'm already at episode 8. There's only 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 episodes left for me to tackle. I mean, and I feel so emotionally detached, bro. Like, if you want to understand what do I mean by that, I don't mean it like, oh, the show is bad. I mean it like this. I'm emotionally detached because I look at this show, at this season 2, as if it was just a collection of memories, as if it was just reading through history. That is how I feel about this. Like I'm reading a history of like an old time, of like maybe a human conflict, maybe some, fallen kingdom, Minecraft. All this kind of thoughts just, ran through my head throughout this whole season. It's like I couldn't really feel attached to anyone. I just couldn't. And it was because everyone had their own ambitions, everyone had their own beliefs, own ideologies, own goals, things that they wanted to do, that I was like, I just wanted to, I just let me see how things unfold. Whatever happens happens. And episode 8, bro, if I'm assuming there's probably going to be a massacre. Now I'm not sure if it's going to be a massacre for the doves, the CCG, or someone important is going to die. I don't want to say any names because I don't really want any of them to die. But again, I'm not too emotionally attached to anyone that I would probably start crying, right? But I do know someone is going to die, especially with Andeku. For a minute, I thought, oh, Kaneki coming in early was good, right? Because sure, he might have fucked up in the past few episodes, but at least this time he got something right, which was staying in Anteku. Because I've, I couldn't record it because I just didn't want to. I wanted to go through all of these episodes first. But I told myself I've seen a lot of characters in anime who went through the same exact thought process, main characters and side characters alike, where they told themselves, I need to stay away from them because I need to get stronger. I need to get, I need to get better. I need to be more uh more than I'm capable of right now so that I could truly protect them. And then inevitably it ends up with someone that they love dying because they weren't there. And now it's like you fast forward into those animes, into their stories, and they tend to be the more wiser characters, they tend to be the more smarter characters, they tend to be the more powerful characters. But that won't change the fact that their past was already created. They've lost someone that they cared for and loved. So depending on who dies, I don't know, maybe Nishio dies. I don't want to hope for it, but I think Hinami is. There's a possibility of her. Or the other girl, I forgot her name, but really depends on how they execute this. Really depends. To me, I feel like this is gonna be the make it or break it. This would be either the moment where I'm like, I need to, I just, something. I can't necessarily say that, oh, this time I'm gonna be emotionally attached. Like, I can't tell you that. I can't tell you. But this might be the moment where I start to care more a little bit about for these characters instead of them just, being part of a play or a theater. You just watch their story unfold and not necessarily connect with them. But who knows? It might happen in this episode and I start to care a little bit more. It's not that I never cared for them in the first place. I did, but emotionally it wasn't there. Like I wasn't as attached to them. That's the word, attachment. I wasn't attached to these characters or for that matter, many of the characters in this show. But as I've said, depending on what happens with episode 8, it could change. On the flip side, if the way this was executed was in a way where my mind processes it, digests it, and realizes, fuck this, I'm gonna be finishing the season so emotionally detached, so out of it, so done. I can't even say deflated. I'm just mentally numbed at this point. I am mentally tired. I am tired. My brain is tired. Let's see what happens in episode 8. Okay, 14 minutes in, nothing has happened yet. And yeah, again, I could already see it from a mile away. My suspicions were already pretty much guaranteed. The guy, one of the higher ups from the CCG, said that they were already sent. They've already sent people to stake out the place. And what's his name? Frick, I forgot Shinichiro. What was his name again from Tokyo Ghoul? Shinohara. That guy, yeah, Shinohara. So this guy said that Shinohara was gonna be relying on his instincts for for this whole thing with Anteiku. So I think everything's pointing to something happening. Something's gonna go down at Anteiku. Oddly enough, I thought that they were gonna attack them there and then because you saw how there were a lot of people in the shop. I was like, no, no freaking way. Every single one of them has to be an agent of the CCG, and they're about to bust and murder everybody in the room. But they didn't. So I was a little confused. I mean, to the point where I was even asking, their names. They were like calling them Irima-san, Koma-san. Like, yo, wait a fucking minute. Wait a damn minute. How do you know these people's names? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. Surely, these guys should have noticed by now that they're like, wait a minute. How do you know our names? But then it didn't happen. So I was like, well, okay, I guess that's great. But at least now, 14 minutes in, if you go rewatch this episode of Tokyo Ghoul, 14 minutes in, they bring in Yomu and I see Yoshimura. So I sort of feel we're kind of in good hands. I think Yomu's gonna do a really superb job in defending the place, and Yoshimura is gonna do a good job as well. Because I think he's the owl. He might sacrifice himself, depending on how it is, to let them escape. Don't tell me that's gonna happen. Don't tell me that's gonna happen. Because if it does, I would be so pissed at myself. I don't like when I read anime. I don't like when I read into an anime and then I pretty much guess what happens, because that means I'm like, I've already seen through you. Hopefully I'm proven wrong. Hopefully everyone just laughs at me. Bro thought he was confident. Bro thought he was smart. Bro thought he got it right. He was even confident. Please, bro, please be fucking wrong. I swear if Yoshimura ends up sacrificing himself to let them escape Anteiku, because now they know that their lives in Anteiku won't be any different, and Toka goes down that path, almost the same as maybe Kaneki, but still caring, protecting everyone in Anteiku, but now she has this anger for him. Mm, I won't like it. I won't like it. I won't. Ah, man. If once I finish the season and then I end up watching the next, the later episodes, I'm gonna be so detached. Like I will have no connection with anybody in this series. Not even Amon, bro. Not even Amon or his relationship with Akira. Like just no. I'm gonna be so done. Emotionally, mentally done. Out of it. Tired. I guess it's not gonna happen in this episode. I don't think it's gonna happen now, episode 8. But who knows? Things could change.